Myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, we'll be starting afresh with the algorithm development using a new indicator named Bollinger Band. As the name suggests, this indicator gives you the idea of where the price action is happening in comparison with the Bollinger Band. If it is within the band, then you have the output value within the range of 0 to 100. But if it is say for example below the lower band, then you have the negative output value, and if it is above the upper band, we have the output value above 100. So that's how this Bollinger Band works. And I hope if you are not really well familiar, you can go back to my earlier introductory video regarding this percent Bollinger Band and see how it is calculated and other technical aspects of it. In this session, we will be focusing on the functional aspect. So we will see how we can design and develop the algorithm using this indicator. So let us now head to the Visual JForex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. You will find this indicator listed amongst the momentum indicators just below the MOM. For this indicator, we have to define these 5 input parameters depending on which we will have the output value. And as I explained to you in introductory remark, this idea gives where the price action is happening. And let us see how this works out on the chart. Is the USDJPY chart. For a change, for this session, I will be using the USDJPY as the instrument of choice. So we will see how this indicator can help us find the profitable trading opportunity. And we will be looking for the turnaround in the momentum for the underlying instrument after we have already seen substantial move in any given direction. So for example, if we are looking for the buy trade, then we want that underlying instrument should have declined substantially, and after being in overbought territory, now it is trying to regain the lost ground and it is trying to inch back on the higher side. So one of the condition is going to be that we will need the hourly percent Bollinger Band value in the negative territory, and vice versa for the sell trade. We want the percent Bollinger Band output to be in the overbought territory. The underlying instrument should have appreciated and now it should be going in the correction phase, and that is the time when we will be looking to initiate the sell trade. And as you can observe from the charting, many times it's not really advisable to go for the trade as soon as we have this percent Bollinger Band flashing overbought or oversold price action. Instead of that, I think it is worthwhile to wait, and after due consolidation, it is better if we go for the trade in anticipation of a possible turnaround. So what we will do, rather than taking the recent Bollinger Band value, percent Bollinger Band value, I will be taking the percent Bollinger Band value 6 hours back. So we will be using the look back period of 6 for defining these percent Bollinger Band value. And right now, suppose I will give you, suppose if we are looking for the buy trade, then we want the percent Bollinger Band value 6 hours back to have been below 0 and its current value, or say the value last hour, is above 0. And for the sell trade, we will do the similar setup. We want the percent Bollinger Band output value 6 hours back to have been above 100, and now it has gone below the 100 range and it is looking to decline, looking to correct to some extent. And then we will shift our attention to the price action. We will also be using the cluster of 4 candles of the hourly time period to see what kind of volatility is there prior to the execution of the order. And we will be also utilizing the 15-minute charting, and here also the indicator will remain the same, and we will look to initiate the trade as and when we see the percent Bollinger Band output value dipping below there is a median value of 50. So for the sell trade, we want the percent Bollinger Band output value for last 15 minutes to be below 50, and in the penultimate candle it should have been above 50. For the buy trade, we will want that the turnaround should be happening and the percent Bollinger Band value for last 15 minutes have risen above 50 from below 50 in the prior period. So that's how we are going to go about this algorithm. And as I explained to you, the logic behind it, it is fairly simple, easier to understand, and also equally simple to build. So let us get started. We will be relying on the if blocks to get the instrument subscription done. And once we are done with the instrument subscription, we can turn our attention to the percent Bollinger Band. On candle will be the start point, and if you have been a regular viewer, you might be quite familiar with these early steps on candle, last candle instrument. And here I will need to change this to USDJPY. Okay, here it is. Okay, we got it. First input equals second input. Similar thing here, first input equals second input, and the position amount should be equal to 0. This is going to be hourly. Fifth 6, and moving average period and deviation will remain as per the default setup 20 and 2 respectively. And after that, we will be shifting our attention to the lower time frame, and there I will need to bring in 2% Bollinger Bands. These are going to be defined to 15 minutes. And and lookback period will be 1 and 2 respectively. 1, 2, okay. And after that, to look at the price action, how the price has behaved in recent past, we will be taking the cluster of 4 candles, and for that I will be taking the get historical candles, block, info, this will be changed to hourly, it will be 1, candle amount I will reduce to 4, and to retrieve the individual component I will have to bring in the loop viewer. This I will create as a new variable. Okay, and to look at the immediate price action, we will also be using the last 15-minute candle. So one more get historical candle of 15 minutes will be needed. Info, and 2 more of 10 seconds. This will be changed to 15 minutes. Shift of 1, and these 2 blocks will be defined with the candle period of 10 seconds each, and shift value of 1 and 2 respectively. Okay, so these are going to be the basic building blocks which we will use to look at the information for the price action, and after that we will have to bring in calculation expression blocks to see if the conditions which we need to be in place prior to the execution are unfolding or not. So in this session, we will carry out a couple of calculations, and I think first is going to be to look at the price action for last couple of hours. So I think one thing is that there should have been good enough momentum, good enough price volatility, and over the period of time, I think for 4 hours, 20-25 pips should be the volatility, and to make sure that we have the price action on the stronger side, we will be looking at the HLP's candle high and candle low, and take out the difference between them and compare it to the minimum requirement of 20 pips. So first thing we will need to do is define the minimum requirement of 20 pips, and then after that we will be looking at the actual difference. So first thing first, we will have to define the preset price, preset difference, and it's simple thing to do. All you need is take the default instrument pip size and multiply it with a new variable, which is going to be 20, and this is going to be A1 into A2. Okay, and after that we have to look at the output values of this loop viewer. We will need to retrieve the individual component of this, the candle high and the low, and see what is the actual difference between the two values. So we need A1 minus A2, and this will be actual difference. And whenever the if blocks will be added to define the conditions, we will compare these output values AD and MD, and AD should always be greater than MD. That is going to be one of the primary conditions prior to the execution of the trade. And with these, the time is also drawing to close, so we will stop here, and I hope you have been able to understand the logic behind this algorithm, and you will be trying it on your own to see how far you can go. And of course, I will be back in next session, and in that session, I will be explaining to you how you can design and develop the buy side for the execution of the buy trade. And once we are done with that, we will also shift our attention to the designing of the sell side. So thank you all for joining in. Do subscribe to the Dukascopy webinar channel. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.